The big story that you're seeing on your screen, and we'll talk a bit about this. Remember the huge hit for companies like Tata Steel, SAIL, JSW Steel, Coal India because of the mining royalty. Now, this was a high court which had said that you will have to come in with royalties and predated royalties. So, with retrospective effect, mining companies had to give royalties. What is coming as a relief is that the Supreme Court has given more time to the central government to take a final call in regarding to the cascading impact of royalty compounding. Now, as complex as that sounds, let me go across to Varun. Varun, please try and simplify this for us. Is this a change in stance from the top court? Why is this being seen as, some hope for companies which would have had to pay these mining royalties?
Yeah, hi. So in essence, the Supreme Court has given the government 2 months to take a final call with regards to the cascading impact of royalty compounding for the calculation of the average sale price. Now, in 2016, the government revamped the entire mechanism for the calculation of royalty on minerals and grants of concessions. And these 2016 rules provided that royalty would be calculated as a percentage of the average of the sale value. Now, mining companies have contended that royalty which has already been paid in the previous months is again being factored in for the purpose of computation of royalty paid for the subsequent months. Now, in effect, what they're saying is that it is leading to a cascading effect. Now, Supreme Court recognized this and said that this is foul of Article 14, and government has already cured this anomaly for coal, and the Supreme Court has said that such an anomaly for minerals such as iron ore has not been cured yet. So for this, the Supreme Court has given the government 2 months to take a final call in this decision, when they should submit the report to the top court and when this case will be taken up again.
Okay, Varun, thanks for bringing this up. The timelines are 2 months, right, Varun? You said 2 months given to the companies or given to the government to figure out the fresh.
Yeah, it's 2 months.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for that. And guys, I mean, you can argue that the stocks have already recovered from that hit, but in the P&L, some of the companies took part of that hit already, right? And therefore, if this changes in a couple of months, it'll be really interesting to see what the numbers of either the O&D quarter or the Jan, Feb, March quarter look like, because let's assume that 2 months and then some to and fro, and maybe the decisions come back in Jan, Feb and March. It'll be really interesting to see what happens to for numbers per se.
Could this trigger a rally on the stocks today? Because you have the NPC that we're awaiting and now local good news. Could be
that
enough reason to...
But only thing, if the NPC doesn't come out with a large stimulus, then that's a big negative for metal companies. But this might
stick your neck out, Neeraj.
No, you can't, no, because
so there you wouldn't...
No, let's be.
It's not a trading rally, can't be expected.
No, I'm saying just on the back of this news, if the NPC is not negative, this is a positive. Right. But if the NPC doesn't give out a stimulus,
it will outweigh. It will outweigh, and also, I mean, think of it this way: up to 70,000 crore rupees was the hit which was penciled in for the industry. Those were the kind of estimates. But Mehika is joining us to give us a more stock-specific, blow-by-blow account of who this could benefit. Now, Mehika, this is something that we will know in another 2 months whether it plays out or not. But sentimentally, what has changed is that at least it's under consideration. If it does come through, and we know now that the government is now reviewing it, who does it benefit?
Yeah. So we have a host of metal as well as mining companies, because some of the metal companies do have mining operations. Now, the change in the calculation method for royalties is positive for these companies, and it was, when the judgment was passed, it was expected to impact EBITDAs of companies by 2 to 3%. The change in the method would help companies like Tata Steel, Steel Authority of India, JSW Steel and Hindustan Zinc. Now, when the actual judgment came by, Nuvama Research had actually put in the potential impact of the retrospective mining royalty tax application. Tata Steel had a potential liability impact, was expected at over 17,000 crores, 347 crores, and this was stated by the company's management itself in one of their con calls. Steel Authority of India had a potential liability impact of 2,980 crores. JSW Steel was pegged at around 4,800 crores as per Nuvama Research. Now, Coal India and NMDC, Coal India had 36,000 crores, but because of the nature of contracts that Coal India has with its customers, Nuvama had stated that Coal India, the liability was not that much of a headwind because it would pass on all of this to its customers. The same goes for NMDC, where the potential liability impact was pegged at 2,700 crores. And lastly was Hindustan Zinc, where the potential liability impact was expected at 150 to 200 crores.
All right, thank you for that, Mihika.